Hello, guys. Good day. This is Anne of Reinforce Me Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Now, I'm just going to bring about this statement today, and this is how it goes. If I hadn't taken that risk, I wouldn't be here today. Now, as far as I'm concerned, we all have those unforgettable moments, the hardest part in our journey, which we'll never gonna forget ever. And those times were the hardest moments. Those were the times when we get failed, when we were heartbroken, when we decided to take the risk to pursue someone, to pursue a certain relationship, to pursue should I say a course or a profession, career, then you wouldn't be here today. Well, you know, as to my own personal experience, if I haven't studied nursing, if I haven't said yes to my dad that, okay, I'm not going to take nursing, I don't want it. I have no idea why I'm going to take it. But, when my dad asked me to really take up nursing, even though I have no idea about it, what's going to be my life a decade after graduation, after graduating nursing. Look, there were good times and bad times. But if I haven't said yes to my dad, I wouldn't be here. And so far, as far as I'm concerned, though, I'm quite happy to where I am today. It's not a perfect place, not a perfect situation, but somehow I was able to get to know myself more, get a chance to look after other people, as well as, an opportunity to meet different cultures, experience different weathers, and somehow travel to different parts of the world. I'd say that this is not totally a perfect life, but somehow I was able to reap the fruits of my labor, which I did years and years ago. So I graduated, the nursing course, way back 2008. Didn't get a job, fast. I was unemployed for almost 2 years. Somehow it was one of the hardest times. But if I didn't take it, if I didn't take nursing, I wouldn't get to this point in my life. And I'm actually gladly to be here. If I haven't failed, if I haven't took the chance or opportunity to take the English test over and over again until I finally get the right score, not a perfect score. Look, I was able to get the 6.5. One of my score, I forget which one was that. I got 6.5, but somehow a country accepted that score, and that lead me to be here in one of the finest country in Europe, Ireland. If I wasn't patient enough to myself, that risk wouldn't able to make it. It took me a while to really realize it somehow because, I failed 5 times in English test, but I started studying, the exam a year before, 2 years. In that 5 takes, that was around maybe more than 5 years journey, because I went to Saudi Arabia first and already failed 3 times in English. So I was nearly 30 that time. And when I came back from Saudi, I was already 30. And look, if I said to myself, even if I go broke, I would still take the exam. I have no choice. I'm already there. I got to finish it. I got to pass it. Pass or fail. Or way back that time, it's either pass or broke. So if I haven't take the risk to decide and take action, when another example is that when my dad asked me to move out from the house because it's time for me to grow, If I haven't take the risk, taking action to study every day to pass the exams, I wouldn't be here. And if I, if I haven't got that experience of being broke when I was student, and in early years of my nursing career, by the time when I graduated, I could hardly live with myself. I was still living with my dad and my family, so I don't have to pay for the rent. It will save me from, I could save up for myself because my family covers the food and expenses, so I don't have to deal with that. So instead, spending my money to other stuff, but of course I still do. I was able to save up for the exam and going to places to apply abroad. That's why I found an agency, which led me to Saudi Arabia. My first working abroad experience. So if I haven't taken that risk to go to Manila, submit my requirements, my credentials, way back before internet wasn't really that reliable at that time. So yeah, I and some of my friends, we personally go to Manila and even Cebu to submit our requirements. If I haven't taken that risk, I wouldn't grow emotionally, mentally this much. Because, the first time I went to work abroad, that was the time when I realized the beauty, yeah, and the as well as the loneliness and growth, you know, being independent, away from family. You're free to decide whatever you want. And speaking about growth, though, this happens all the time, even in a relationship, normal relationship, friendship. You started as acquaintance, and then you've discovered that you have something in common, and then you learn to like each other, and then to the point that you hang out, you share stories, personal secrets to that point, and then you get to know your family. You hang out most of the time, you communicate most of the time. So that's the friendship relationship. In a romantic relationship, it's all the same as well. You don't just stay as like friends. You got to grow together. Even in marriage, you need to grow together. But I couldn't say anything in that part because I'm not married yet. And in career wise, when you get to become a staff nurse, you have a choice to become to get a good position in the area, or you look for something, other opportunities for a better pay, or whichever specialization you want to venture. So this life is all about growth. And growth actually starts when you feel some kind of discomfort, while you're working, while you're hanging out with the people who matters to you, because you want to grow with these people. When you started to feel discomfort, like for example in career wise, when I was in the Philippines, I keep asking myself, what life, could it be if I ever work somewhere in America, somewhere in UK? How much money could I save? How much money I could invest? How much money could I give to my family, share to my family? So I keep thinking about that. That's why I felt a little bit of discomfort way back when I started working as a nurse in the Philippines. Even though I did enjoy it, I got the fantastic people around me, my fantastic colleagues who were also somewhere around the world this time. Some of them are in New Zealand, UK, and most especially in US. So yeah, by the time I felt discomfort, which I couldn't take, to experience, to feel almost every day, now I got to make a move, which helped me really push me to take the exam, and eventually failed for a couple of times. And those moments, hard time moments that stretched you and me, are the ones that really shape us for the future, to our future self, the kind of life that we aim for. Whenever we are in the rock bottom. And when we meet challenge, like when you want to pass the exam, like for example, I was studying for the English test, and I failed once, and it was challenging for me emotionally, intellectually. I lose my confidence, and the money that I've saved up, my hard-earned money that I saved up way back before, it's all gone. The exam was quite expensive that time. It was, IELTS was the only one available for us as nurses. So those were challenging moments, and without those challenging moments, I wouldn't be able to evolve into someone who's really stubborn to really, you know, persist, to really still take another exam, and as I fail, the more I want it, the more I got to be patient to myself, the more I got to spare time to help myself pass, the more I got to train myself to be consistent every day, to practice, every area of the test. And it takes, it actually shapes my attitude too, just like, everybody else. And every step forward opens up new door. So whenever I study every day, I started to discover different ways to answer the exam. You know, growth is discovering possibilities you've never imagined. Now, I couldn't even imagine that there were different ways to answer the English tests. I've only discovered that by the time when I really badly wanted to pass the test, to the point that I gather different resources from different review centers as well as online. I put up an internet in the house. I pay for that bill every day so I can able to get what I want. So it wasn't easy. Think about it. You failed and a couple of times, and you have to get your act together a couple of times too. And not only in terms of exams, it could be career-wise, it could be as a father, as a mom, as a, whatever your profession is, as a daughter, as a son. Our potential is limitless. If we only embrace change with courage, the kind of change that we never thought that we could swallow for the sake of getting what we want. Swallow our pride, swallow our need for validation from other people. Whatever other people say about us, look, it doesn't matter. I want this. Whatever their opinion is, it doesn't matter. I failed, yes, correct. But once I pass, that will change everything. So that was in my head that time. I mean, look, I failed a couple of times. Yes, you would expect that. And it's easier for me to really say to people, look, I failed. Easier. As time goes by, the more I failed, it's easier for me to say. And it's actually hard to believe that I passed. So that was the situation before. I thought that, first time I failed, I thought I wasn't smart enough. I was no good. I'm no good. That's why that time, the first time I failed and I got almost broke. And then I took another exam, and then it did ate my savings, and then I submitted my credentials to different agencies in Manila. If I haven't taken that risk for the sake of it, for the sake of passing that exam, so that I can get here to where I am, I wouldn't be here today. So not only in that terms, it could be business. I would love to venture more about investing this time. I love properties, and somehow I'm doing my best so I can build something like a extra income, other source of income every month. It could be every week. How much more every day? Come on. So I want to work on that. I'm actually working on that, and so far it's not only in the aspect of the English test that I failed several times. I did tried to invest to different people so I can build a business in the Philippines. Look, I did invest or tried 10 times. And then there was one time in Saudi Arabia, which actually, I made money from that investment. My friend, we worked together, we lent money to different staff with position in the hospital. And yeah, I did make some money. And those profits that I had, it actually covered my losses from the previous 10 tries. So I succeeded somehow in the 11th, but I didn't like the outcome. That's why I quit it, and it's quits. So now I'm trying to make something new, something, I know it actually takes time. And I'm doing something about it every day until it works. Until for the rest of my life, I will be happy enough to come up with different ideas. Because growth is the journey. It's not a destination. I'll be happy enough to try something every day. Online, offline, and even this, sharing my experiences. The beauty of life is continuous learning, adapting, and become the best version of yourself. So, if you have any idea, it's way better to execute it as fast as you can. Otherwise, if you don't write it down, if you just let it stay inside your head, it would just fade away. Like the wind blows it. So if you want to, build something, try different things so that you can see the result, it's way better if you have an idea, just execute it as fast as you can. Otherwise, you'll be blown away. And, growth is actually another good channel for whatever bad energies that we have. I'm talking about the traumas, the anger that we felt, stressed out from work. You can, I would suggest that, outside work, you can, have some hobby at home or build something outside work. And that's already a good channel, for your stress or whatever frustrations you have at work. Give it all to whatever you build outside work. It's like a workout, though. You can even do workout if you want to have a beautiful body. That's another growth. So, growth is interesting. It makes us feel alive, and it brings out the best version of us. Limitless. And it's all up to us. It's our own decision to accept the change so that we can get to the point of living the life of the person that we want to become. So I hope I shared something valuable today. And if you ever love this episode, you can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even in Amazon Music. As well in Twitter, X, Reinforce Me Club. You can share this to your family and friends. By the way, Reinforce Me Club, this is Anne, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.